Alright, this is going to be a long stream. Alright? I hope you got your sleeping bags. Because we're getting into it. The cream. The cream. Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Faction Focus. Ossiarch. Boner Eepers. You always wanted to ask me, was the pause in the end intended? Yes. Yep. There's a little add a pregnant pause there, and then hit him with the big right at the end. I edit on purpose, purposefully. Basically, thanks for noticing. Alright, Boner Eepers. The Osius Hosts. The god of undeath desires only one thing: to turn the mortal realms into a still and lifeless necrotopia, expunged entirely of all free will but his own. To establish this eternal and changeless empire, the great necromancer employs many forces. And most uncompromising are the grim legions, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. The Ossiarch Bone Reapers are intricate masterworks of necromancy, raw bone, reshaped by cunning magic into components for macabre legionnaires, each animated by a careful blend of souls. They operate without dissent, led by generals who do not waver. Perfect and precise weapon that exists only to further the will of Nagash. They march the mortal realms without remorse, conquering kingdoms and imposing the bone tithe, a levy of skeletal materials used to fashion more soldiers for this eternal war machine. Living vassals evade this morbid tax at their peril. Should the quota not be met, the due is collected by force. You can never escape the tithes. Nagash has entrusted much of his dominion to his council of Mortarks, who enforce his will through their own hosts of Mordaunts, Geists, Wights, and other undead servants. The only flaw in this command structure is that his subordinates are bickering, self-obsessed, and compromised by petty ambition or morbid madness, from the lowliest necromancer to the most fearsome vampire. The Lord of Undeath envisioned a simple solution: a legion of unquestionably loyal servants, purpose-made to serve his will, down to the every detail of their bodies and souls. Their forms would be knitted from armoured bone, their spirits shaped from the gestalt souls of warriors whose afterlives were already under his thrall. Kind of sick. To lead this perfect army, Nagash picked a perfect general, Orpheon Katakros. Katakros was a military genius who had thrown back Nagash's forces time and again during his conquest of Shyish, only to willingly pledge allegiance to the bone flag, to the Tyrant of Bones, in exchange for an eternity to hone his bloody craft. Imprisoned by the God King Sigmar during the confusion and treachery of the Age of Chaos, Katakros was freed at the dawn of the Soul Wars by Lady Olinder. Nagash at last provided him with tireless armies and a physical vessel to match his soul's uncompromising perfection. Now the Mortarch of the Necropolis, he is a ruthless commander who wields the necrotopian hosts of the Ossiarch Empire with unparalleled skill. His armies are composed of numerous exacting castes, each a cog in a clinical engine of slaughter. The arcane craft priests of the Mortesian orders maintain these legions, forging new constructs and blending souls. They also join their creations in battle, repairing damaged troops and hastily fashioning reinforcements from dead foes. They march with stranger constructs still: Cavalos Death Riders atop chimeric bone steeds, Mortek Crawlas, which shower the enemies with necromantic artillery fire. I mean, ostensibly. And Gothazar harvesters, lumbering abominations that smash through enemy lines and collect fresh bone to be reshaped by the Mortesians. And by that I mean lumbering abominations that, for about 2 weeks after every book, regenerate a little too much, get nerfed, and then they start collecting fresh dust on the shelf for the rest of the edition. 2 editions in a row. To this tyrannical empire, the living are nothing more than resources to be harvested. The grisly foundations of an endless paradise of undeath. Alright, what do we got? What do you got for me this fine evening? Unstoppable advance. If no friendly units have used Relentless Discipline ability this phase, pick a friendly Ossiarch Bone Reaper's hero. Relentless Discipline. Okay, everybody is... Okay, we got Relentless Discipline. If friendly units have been used this phase. Okay, so Relentless Discipline no longer points. It's just in each of the 3 phases that you care about. Pick one of the 2 things to do and just do it. And I don't see that you're rolling for any of these, which means they're good, like the Fireslayer ones. Good. This is kind of nice. Good idea. Because this could have been just a bunch of command points. It could have been alternative command points. I actually like just picking one or the other. There you go. Add 2 to the move characteristic of Buddy within 12 of the hero. Oh, these are all going to be around a hero, right? Yeah. So no longer unit champs and stuff. So we're going to be playing hero buff zone gameplay on this one. Add 2 to the move characteristic of each target unit for the rest of the turn. Great. Friendly OBR units can use charge abilities even if they retreated. Great. Okay. Retreat and charge is awesome. +2 move. Awesome. So far, so good. You love to see it. Any charge phase. Add 1 to charge rolls. Good. Kinda minor, but good, actually. And then counter strike. For the rest of the turn, friendly unit melee weapons have anti-charge rend 1. Good. Okay. In an army this durable that might not die, good. Yeah, they do still get hurt. Note. Most of the other retreat and charge abilities we've seen so far made them immune to getting hurt. These guys just take it, because they probably got enough regen and healing, I bet. And then any combat phase, add 1 to the wound rolls. Okay, bonus to wound, good, for free. And for the rest of the turn, ward 5. Nice, okay. Relentless Discipline, good. Good battle tactics. Not bad. Let's see, what do we got over here? OBR. So far, well, remind me. 2 to move. Retreat and charge, but no protection. Anti-charge red 1, or +1 to charge. +1 to wound rolls, or ward 5 up. And I'm assuming they have a 6 up ward already. This army is at least in a B+ zone already, I think, as far as hype is concerned. Alright. Next, Mortesian Council. Necrotic Symphony. Add 1 to casting rolls. Okay, it's boring, but it's good. It seems to be the thing for just every sub-faction now, is really boring, but really good. Well, maybe not really good, but it's like +1 to something, and that's just good, right? Unlimited spell, Lord of OC and Sorcery, Empowered Nadirite Weapons. Oh, we're bringing back a classic. 5's easy to cast. Especially if you're on +1, which you probably won't be, but... target's combat attack score crits on a 5 instead of a 6. Great, yeah. Great unlimited spell. Good work. It's a classic, but it's a good one. Every Nadirite weapon has crit 2 hits as standard. Okay. So this gives you double the chances of that, essentially. Vokmortian. Seems like they went for quantity over quality on complexity for the index subfactions, yeah. Why are Fire Slayers so high? Because every single thing I read about them is unbelievably hype. Super hype. Really fun looking. Really fun looking. The only thing they didn't get was pants. Or like new models or something. You don't want to interrupt, Mr. Woe. But chat, do we know when we might get to pre-order stuff for the new edition? No, we don't. I don't think so. It's supposed to be in July, though. Vokmortian. 5 health, 4 up save. Whatever. Ooh, double wizard. You love to see it. Voice of Nagash. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12. For the rest of the turn, non-fight core abilities cost 1 command point for the target to use. Jesus. Okay, this is the best debuff I've ever seen. Holy. This is so annoying. This is the most annoying ability I've read so far. It simply works. Don't gotta roll a 3 up. Don't gotta spend any resources. It simply works. You want to move 1 command point. You want to charge 1 command point. Jesus Christ. Non-core? No. It's non-fight core. So it's every core ability except fight. This almost kills the unit. Holy shit. Andy's a double wizard. OBR is gonna be good. I mean, it's once per battle, but so is Bellicor. The guy's an amateur. Yeah, pay your taxes. Literally asking you to pay your taxes. Harley Zudian 30. Thanks for the tier 1. I appreciate it. For 9 months. You've been out of AOS for a while. Have they finally given your army... Hold on. I scrolled past it because the scroll thing doesn't work. You've been out of AOS for a while. Have they finally given your army BOC some new models? Good meme. Good meme. Your hero phase. This costs 7. Mortal Contract. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18. Okay. 18's a pretty good range. Until the start of your next turn, each time the bound enemy... Wait. Pick a visible friendly OBR to be bound. Until the start of your next turn, each time the bound friendly unit is picked to be the target of an ability used by the bound enemy unit, so you're binding them. Roll a d3. And everything's an ability now, remember. On a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage. If the bound enemy unit is destroyed by this ability, do not resolve the effect. This guy's ridiculous. Yo, Vokmortian. This guy's kind of nuts. Hey, alright. Andy's a double wizard. You can cast an Unbind with him. Yeesh. Okay, he seems very good. Mortesian Soul Mason. This is the War Has Changed guy. 646. He's got some attacks. Soul Guide. He is also a double wizard. This guy used to be a double wizard. I don't know if this guy used to be a double wizard. I can't remember. But this guy used to be, I think. Soul Guide 7. Pick a visible friendly OBR unit holier than 12. The target has strike first for the rest of the turn. Okay. So on your opponent's turn, you first strike yourself. It costs you a CP to do it, but it's really good. And then he's a double casty. Yep, he's good. Soul Mason, good. Vokmortian, great. Empower Nadirite weapons, good. Necrotic Symphony, good. All these Relentless Discipline things, good. All of them are free. Everything just works. You don't have to roll dice. Man. This guy didn't get the memo that everything should work on a 2-up now, right? Necropolis Stalkers. These are the Blender Men. The ones that everybody likes. They're damage 1. Oof. We found a nerf. Okay. And they're dead. 4 health, 4-up save, 6-inch move. 4 attacks a model, 3s and 3s, 2-1, crit 2 hits. Oh, maybe they get damage back with the Katakros aspects, at least. Subtract 3 from the control score of enemy units while they're in combat with this unit. Okay. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks to target this unit. Ward rolls cannot be made. And weapons have anti-hero rend 1. Okay. Yeah, the lost run in charge too. Okay, so Necropolis Stalkers got themselves ogred a little bit here. So against heroes, they're Ren 3. They do have crit 2 hits. They are at Ren 2. They do have 4 attacks a model, which is 12 for 3 of them. You can empowered weapons so that 5s are crit into 2 hits. I don't know. Maybe they're usable, maybe they're not. The bean counters are going to have to do math based on their cost to figure it out. We'll have to see. I don't think they're dead. They're just probably dead. We got to look at points and do some math, right? Extra 1-inch move, is there a relentless ability to help movement still? Yes, there is. +2 move. Down from, I think, 3, if I recall correctly. But maybe not. Yeah, it was +3, alright. So you guys are conceivably slightly slower than before. No multi-damage on the Stalkers. But some of the most ludicrous control abilities I've read for the game so far on the other guys. Maybe we're supposed to be more of a control army now. Instead of a 10 out of 10 offense, 10 out of 10 defense, and 10 out of 10 debuff. Maybe we're supposed to choose one of those or get a little... Oh, nice. I hope these are good. Mortek Crawlers. I didn't think we'd look at these. 5 move, 12 health, 4-up save. Dread Catapult. 24, 4 attacks, 4s and 2s, 1 D3 +2. Anti-infantry +1 rend. Crit. Okay. Alright. Not bad. Hitting on 4s is kind of rough, but wounding on 2s, rend 1. Nadirite weapons works on them. And the damage is D3 +2. That's a decent amount of damage. What about Deadly Barrage? Any shooting phase? Ooh, any shooting phase. Even the opponent's shooting phase. Pick an enemy unit that was targeted by all of this unit's shooting attacks this phase to be the target. Effect, roll a die. Add 1 to the roll if this unit is wholly within 12 of a friendly Mortesian Oss effector. And add 1 to the roll if any other friendly Mortek Crawler unit, so if they actually want you to spam these. And have an Oss effector. On a 4-up, target has strike last. Cool, so on your opponent's turn, you spend a command, throw, shoot, they strike last. So you have a way to make your guy strike first on their turn, and you have a way to make their guy strike last on their turn. And it looks like you have enough range and enough attacks to reasonably expect to maybe hit with one of them. Nice. No, it's this phase. No, it's for the rest of the turn down here. Unless you were talking about something else. Cool. I was hoping Mortek crawlers would be playable. And it just cares if you aimed, so you can miss all of them and it's fine. Unlike the sharks, which need to... The shark things actually need to fully deal damage. These guys you just have to target, right? Which is extra good. I mean, you do need to jump through an extra hoop. But... Cool. Okay. Kinda hopeful about Mortek Crawler. Stalkers, we'll just have to see. Points will decide. Sad that their damage went down. Soul Mason and the other guy are super good. Any Katakros? No? Nothing? Damn. Okay, no Katakros. Boo. Okay. And then we got Cavalos Death Riders. We don't know everything on these guys yet because this is Spearhead. 3 health, 10-inch move, 4 up save, 6. Nadirite Spear, 3 attacks, 3s and 4s, 1. Ooh, nice. Good. Good. +1 damage on the charge. You love to see it. So it's 15 attacks, maybe 16 if there's a unit champion. 3s and 4s. Rend 1, damage 2. And they're probably going to have the Nadirite thing in the non-Spearhead version, right? Good. Hey, Cavalos Death Rider is looking kind of good. +1 charge damage finally. They'll still probably have exploding hits in the full game. They can get +1 to wound with the 1 Relentless Discipline. And then Death Rider Wedge. This unit can pass across enemy infantry models as though it had fly. After discharge, you can pick an enemy unit that had passed across and roll a die on a 2-up, inflict... Oh, it's exactly Ogre Charge, sure. Why reinvent the wheel? Alright, Cavalos Death Riders are gonna rock, I think. They're gonna be good. Very exciting. The only sad part is this. Only sad part is that guy, but the other stuff is good, and we don't know a lot yet. But the battle traits are good, which is a huge plus. Reread, 2 up on a D6 for the D3. Yeah, 2 up on a D6, and then roll a D3. Which is strange. Right? I mean, it's Spearhead, so maybe whatever. But yeah, that's weird. Everything else has been roll a D3 on a 2-up. It's that many. It's weird this is the one that doesn't work that way. I believe Death Riders had the chart. Yeah, they had the weaker version before we were given it. So it wasn't really us. It wasn't really them stealing from us. It was us being given what they had. Anyway, this is sick. Looking kind of nice with it. Where do we put them? Am I excited or am I kind of amped? Your battle traits are good. It's really important to have good battle traits because that can fill in the blanks. Otherwise, you're just totally dependent on your war scrolls, and who knows which ones of those are going to be good. But if your traits are good, then maybe you can roll with it. And your traits are good. That one hero is crazy. The other hero is good. Death Rider's looking good, depending. Blenderman lost multi-damage, which is big sad. But we don't know Katakros yet. We don't know... Archon the Black yet. We don't know a lot of stuff. And, oh yeah, the catapult's looking kind of nice. It depends on how much you like Blendermen. If the Necropolis Stalkers were your Stonehorns, you know? then you would be, you know, you're going to be more sad about it. If they weren't, then you're probably A. Because actually everything else is good. Yeah, we don't know. Harvester. I think low A. I'm up here. You got a lot more buffs to soak up. 5 up. 5 up exploding hits plus 1 to wound already. And we've only looked at this much. And surely there's more to put on it. I mean, yeah, 1 damage. So no matter how many things you put on it, it's still only 1 damage, but I think it'll be fine. The army seems to be leaning much more control. I mean, it already was, but I guess it had to choose a lane, and they chose control, that's for sure. They showed every big centerpiece for every faction focus. They even showed a big centerpiece that's not in the army for ogres. And then for OBR, no big centerpiece. Damn. I guess we'll just have to kick the can down the road and stay hyped up for later. Stalkers can still do some elite strikes, for sure. What's the army under the cam? Ogres. Their faction focus was just pain and suffering. No upside, only downsides. Everything got a lot worse and less fun. Everybody else, though, looking good. Everybody else kind of makes an arrow, like half of an arrow pointing down, you know, on the tier list. And they're pretty top-heavy. The faction focuses have been pretty good so far. Only a few, you know, we're not sure quite yet, but this isn't a death sentence. This is just based on vibes. It's impossible to say what they'll be good or not, what their win rate is going to be. We don't know points. We don't know the whole core rules. We don't know the metagame. It would be impossible to say how good something is going to be. This is just like how exciting this stuff is, for the most part. Really wish we got to see Katakros. Yeah, true, but I guess they're just saving it for later. If we saw Katakros, would you even care about anything else? I mean, yeah, probably. They technically showed Nagash OBR ages ago. Yeah, true. You're excited for KO because if they get a single gunship in Ironclad, the free screen rules and artifacts choosing is rock solid. We have seen Nagash. Does that count? No. I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess it counts. But not really. It's not like for your army, it's shared between a bunch of people. So no. It doesn't count. That's somebody you gotta share with everybody else. I'm talking your guys, you know? You're curious which centerpiece they're gonna show for Soulblight? Just Nagash again. Unchanged. I think it's going to be probably Manfred, I bet. Like Manfred or Neferata, one of the two. It's like the easiest slam dunk ever, but it's probably going to be one of them, right? You're guessing the named Velocita, Prince Longdong, Chadakar the Based. All good choices. Loka Vi, perhaps. He has the keyword? Yeah, he has the keyword because that's how the rules work. You know, Kragnos had the Ogre's keyword when he was in the Ogre army, right? But he's not an Ogre. He's a shared model between every faction in the GA, so it doesn't count. No handouts. Then a bunch of Cursed City stuff. Yeah. I wonder if the Cursed City stuff is going to stay. And if it is, how long? Belladama Wizarda. Indexes are next month, probably. Kragnos is back in the cage anyway. Yeah, he is in the cage. Do you think that ogres suffer from a lack of uniquely AOS theme? Yes. Like they're just the scraps of fantasy, so they don't get the right amount of attention. Yeah. Well, no. I thought you were asking a different question. Because Cities of Sigmar is the scraps of fantasy as well. They got an awesome new update, right? Seraphon is just dinosaurs, right? From fantasy, they got a cool update. Sylvaneth, same thing, right? I think they do, especially the Gutbuster half does suffer from it's just left over from fantasy syndrome, right? Where they took, oh, it's Mongolians and they're big, right? That's it. Take a country, take a fantasy race, slap them together. Feel a little one note, kind of like they're from Old World, you know? So we've been kind of waiting for an update on those. I don't think that's the reason they haven't gotten it yet, but it does feel like that a little bit. And also notice how whenever they do a big addition to something in AOS, they really, they go over the top with it. You know, when Sylvaneth got their new stuff, it's all bugs and alien stuff. It's not as, classical in a bad way, right? They're trying to get creative with it, is what I'm saying. Same thing with Cities of Sigmar. Same thing with Seraphon. Giving them feathers and shit, right? So taking the fantasy races that were popular enough to stick around instead of so unpopular they retire them, and then being like, all right, we'll soup them up, we'll give them that over-the-top Age of Sigmar kind of thing. I'm hoping we get that instead of flushed. We'll see. Depends on how popular we are. It's a company after all. If the shit doesn't sell, then what are you going to do? Lose money forever? Steely thinks of $5. Does it even make sense that ogres would respect some no-gut-having centaur? If it's strong enough, yeah, probably. They're smart. They're smart. They can, I mean, power... Game respects game, I guess. And his War Scroll was really good. So there is that. But in the back of their mind, they were always like, this no-gut-having motherfucker takes up half of our army list just to make 3d6 charges. Kind of resented him for it. They did also mention, because it's kind of a thing in the lore, they do mention this here and there, that the ogres are usually the ones that don't fully get on board with the whole everyone in destruction rise up. When Gorka, what's his name? The Fist of Gork, what's that guy's name? No, not Morka. Gordrak, that's it. So similar names. When Gordrak, the Fist of Gork, did the Big Wa in 2nd edition and united everybody in destruction under his banner, the ogres were the least cool with it and the ones that were fucking around the most. And so when they carried forward into Kragnos doing essentially the same thing, they're like, even the ogres rallied behind Kragnos, which is rare for them, because usually they don't give a fuck, and they're just trying to exploit what's happening, you know? But still doing it with one eye closed, I guess. Yeah, we could eat them. Hey, well, I don't know if you were planning on it today, but you made an ugly 40k models PowerPoint for whenever there is content drought for Funny Stream. Do you mean this? That my mods have made for this stream? And do you mean this? The tier list for it? Femunk, I'm so sorry. But eat shit. Got him. SJ, we didn't know you were making one. SJ Arcade did it. We collated it. Actually undercut. Down low, too slow. He tried. You did a thing, which I appreciate. It's just an unfortunate situation. Make the underguts good, iron guts? Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. If I'm perfectly honest, I'm starting to wonder, are we long for this world? I think we are. They're just tricking us. They're just playing a joke. I said big oosh. I did the funny thing with Matt Rose, and he's having a little fun. He's like, we'll just choose the worst looking stuff, put it in the faction focus. Actually, they're fine. He just wants to see how much the Ogre players whine about it. They're doing population data. And so they'll see who wasn't happy about the faction focus, and then they can count them up, and they know how many Ogre players play in the world. Really, it's smart of them to do that. Compare the ugly models, how aligned the Heywoah community is, yeah. Noblars might get yeeted, but I think you keep the big boys. Noblars are the most tactically important unit in all of Gutbusters. Without them, the army falls apart. The Gutbuster half, anyway. Now, they're dumb because they're small. They're not even big, right? So I don't like Noblars from that point of view. But tactically, having chaff is really important for the Gutbusters. And I play the other half in general. Even though the halves are kind of merging more and more, eventually I'll have to give it up, right? Were Huskard's Priest in third? Yes. They sucked, though. But what are you going to do? Now we're just a glass cannon army, that's all. We used to be one thing, now we're another thing. We used to be a little bit of a glass cannon, now we're a lot of a glass cannon. Even more tempo, mono red burn, trying to sacrifice plays, make trades well, you know. I don't mind too much. I imagine we're getting run and charge. There's no way they're not going to give us run and charge. I know this sounds like copium, but this is me being positive, okay? There's no way that Ogre Mawtribes are not getting run and charge when the full index comes out. Clip it. The reason is, our battle tactic went from +2 move always, table wide, rain or shine, to +2 run rolls. And this is the entire faction does two things. A lot of shooting, especially on the Gutbuster side, and charging, okay? That's all we do is shoot and charge. Everything is based around that. Why would they give us a battle trade that gives +2 to run rolls? When you run, you can't shoot, and you can't charge. So why would they do that? It actually makes no sense. I got it figured out. Obviously, they're giving us run and charge. There would be no other reason to do that, right? So anyway, the copium is over. We're getting run and charge. Doesn't even make sense for anything else to be the case, right? And that's just one of them. The reason why I am begging absolute positively copium. Oh no. Also, no one can take an objective from 12 gluttons. Just kill them, bro. They got a 5-up save. Just kill them. Easy. You can run, but you can't charge. Yeah, good one. Watch them get run and shoot, but not run and charge. You know, it would be some bullshit like that, right? Anyway, so a lot of people can... Every time they've written run and charge so far in the faction focuses, I think they have said run and shoot and or charge. I think KO got that. Somebody else got that. That's probably what we're getting, is run and shoot and or charge, I would imagine. Because otherwise, it doesn't make much sense to get +2 to run rolls when the only two things your army does is charge and shoot, and you can't run and do either of those things, right? So it wouldn't make sense. It can't be believed by me. The drowning in copium. Take a whiff. Anyway.